Hello, welcome to our channel, and in this lecture we are going to start the chapter 3. It means from this lesson we are going to discuss about the chapter 3 and from the unit 1. And this in this lecture we are going to discuss about the introduction to the plant kingdom. Okay, so now let us start about our discussion. The first we will start with the R.H. Whitaker. Okay, so R.H. Whitaker in the year 1916 he suggested the five kingdom classification, means whatever the animals that are present in the earth. Okay, so all these organisms were classified into five kingdoms. So according to the Whitaker, R.H. Whitaker in the year 1969. So those classifications were Monera, Protista, Fungi, Animalia, and Plantae. Okay, these all are the five kingdoms. So apart from it, the blue-green algae, it is not placed any of these things. Okay, it means the blue-green algae was excluded from the kingdom Plantae. So why? Because so due to some characteristics, these algae were excluded. It means removed from the plant. And different classification systems are used to classify the organisms. So what is meant by classification? First of all, we have to discuss about what is meant by classification. Classification means among the thousands and lakhs of organisms. So we are going to group these organisms. We are going to place these organisms into separate groups based on the characteristic that they match. Okay, so such kind of grouping the organisms into different categories or groups, that is known as classification. Okay, so example, there are different types of the classification systems were there. So those classification systems are artificial class system of classification. Okay, and next natural classification system, phylogenetic classification system, numerical taxonomy, cytotaxonomy, chemotaxonomy. These all are the different types of the classification systems. Okay, so among these classification systems, some are better, some are not at all good, and so on. We are going to discuss about each and everything. So first of all, we will start with the artificial classification system. Okay, so artificial classification system was given by the Linnaeus. Okay, Carolus Linnaeus. So according to the system of classification, it is completely based on the gross superficial morphological characteristics. So what is meant by gross superficial morphological characteristics? It means external appearances of an organism. If you take the plant, so what you can see the leaves, okay, stem, and so on. Okay, so these all are the characteristics that they can see, that can be seen. That is known as morphological characteristic, or external study, that is known as morphological characteristics. So these are the things that is completely based on the artificial classification system. So example, what we are going to consider in the morphological characteristics. Example, habitat means where they are going to live. So what color they have, number and shapes of the leaves, and so on. These all are the few things that is considered in the artificial classification system. Okay, so this artificial classification system is mainly based on the vegetative and sexual characteristics. So what is meant by sexual? In the sexual characteristics also we are going to focus on the androecium structure. Okay, so this is about the artificial classification system and how it is taken. But the artificial classification is not perfect. Why? Because the system of classification is not accepted and also accepted. Why? Because the vegetative characteristics are more easily affected by the environment. So if these characteristics are affected by the environment, it will be difficult to classify the organisms. So this is the a drawback in the artificial classification system. Okay, so next is natural classification system. So it is given by George Bentham and Joseph Dalton Hooker. So in this system, it is based on the natural affinities among the organisms by considering external and internal features. So it means in the artificial system of classification, we have seen only the external characteristics or morphological characteristics. But here in the natural classification system, not only we are not only considering the external but also the internal features. So if you come to the internal features, what are they present? The organs that are present in the organism. For example, if you take human beings, you can see the heart, kidneys, lungs, and so on. So those are the internal structure. So in this natural classification system, not only external characteristics but also internal characteristics are taken into consideration for the classification of the organisms. So those features especially are ultrastructure, okay, ultrastructure, anatomy, embryology, phytochemistry, and so on. So these all are the things that are, these all are the importance that is considered in the natural classification system of the organisms. Okay, and next is the phylogenetic classification. So this phylogenetic, the term phylogenetic refers to the evolution, okay, evolution of the organisms. This system is completely based on the evolutionary relationships between the various organisms, and system of classification is currently accepted. So among the natural system of classification and artificial system of classification, so the phylogenetic classification system is widely accepted. Okay, so and the organisms belonging to the same taxa has a common ancestor. So in this taxa, in the particular group, these organisms has the same common ancestor. Okay, so from that ancestor only the existing organisms came. Okay, so the information from many other sources are used to resolve the difficulties in the classification. Okay, these sources of information become more important when there is fossil evidences. Fossil evidence means the organisms which has there and previously they were present and they have died and they were fossilized. Okay, so those are known as fossil evidences. Based on the fossil evidences, the organisms were classified. Such kind of classification is known as phylogenetic classification system. Okay, and next is numerical taxonomy. So the term numerical refers to some kind of mathematical applications or applications based on the computers. So numerical taxonomy is nothing but classification of the organisms based on using computer data. Okay, so we are going to observe the characteristics of the organisms. We are going to use some kind of numerical value to it, and we are going to feed all the data into the computers, and then we are classifying. Okay, so it is very important when the huge number of characteristics are taken into consideration. So you may take the different characteristics of the plants. Okay, you may find the new plant. Okay, you are going to use certain code to the certain characteristics, and you are going to compare the certain character with the thousands and lakhs of the other plants. So it is very huge. Okay, it's a huge amount of work is there. So in order to decrease our effort, okay, in order to make the work easy, we are going to use the computers. Okay, they are going to compare, so whatever the data that you have given in the form of numericals or numbers, so they are going to classify. Okay, that is known as numerical taxonomy. So the number and codes were assigned. It means for particular characteristics, particular characteristics, or particular shape of the leaf, particular flower color, or whatever the character is there, you are going to give some number to each, and you are going to feed the data into the computer system or softwares, and then you are going to process it. So this process and this information and data is processed, and this classification has equal importance in the classification. Okay, so next is the cytotaxonomy. So it is completely based on cytological information. The term cyto refers to cell. So we know that all organisms is made up of cells. Okay, so the cell, we are going to take the information from the cell and we are going to process that information. So based on cytological information, mainly the number of chromosomes, structure and behavior and so on. So we know that the cell has cell organelles, and the nucleus is the most important organelle, cell organelle, and the nucleus contains chromosomes. So in the cytotaxonomy, you can consider the chromosomal number, structure of the chromosomes, and how the chromosomes are behaving and so on. So based on the information of the cytology of the organism, okay, by studying the cell of the organism, we are going to classify it. So that is known as cytotaxonomy. Okay, by using the cell information, okay, of the organism. So next, the chemotaxonomy. The term chemo refers to the chemical substance. Okay, by using the chemical substance, chemical substances of the organisms, we are going to classify it. Okay, especially in plants. The plants can be classified based on the chemical constituents present in them. So if you take the plant, or not only plant, any animal or anything, but here we are going to we have taken the example of the plant. So if you take the plant leaves or the plant organ contains different chemical substances. We are going to take that chemical substances, we are going to classify it, and based upon the classification or based on the identification of chemicals in the particular cell of the plant, we are going to classify it. Okay, so this taxonomy is used to resolve the confusion and also used by the taxonomists these days. So why? Because the chemical substance which is present in the one plant may differ with other plant. and that these chemical substances and the chemical substance present in the different plants may be different. Okay, so this is the main important thing that can be used to classify the organisms. Okay, that is known as chemical taxonomy, that is known as chemotaxonomy. Okay, or the chemical constituents present in the plants or any organism. Okay, and I hope this lecture is helpful to you, and also you can subscribe to our channel, and your subscription helps us to do the more content like this, and like, share and comment the video. Okay, and we will discuss the next topic in the next lesson.